Welcome, Vault Dwellers. My name is Nacho Bidness, and this is episode 29 of my Fallout 4 No Loot Challenge Run. The rules are fairly simple. Here on Xbox, I am not allowed to use the A button to take anything out of the environment or out of a container and put it into my character's inventory. Notable exceptions are crops. Crops in my own settlements are kind of a necessity because I am playing on survival and we need food for my character to eat, and also we need things to barter with in order to get the junk that is necessary to play the game. Last episode we finally took the castle, and to no one's surprise, Preston decided to tell us about yet another settlement that needed our help, and so we are on approach to Nordhagen Beach, and because I am still lugging around the big boy that I used to defeat the Mirelurk Queen, I am massively, well, not massively, but I am over capacity because I've got my charisma gear on, and so I'm going to give Preston some corn that I picked up at County Crossing to hold. But I also noticed here that somewhere along the way, Preston picked up some stim packs. Preston, you know that that is not allowed. I am not a looter, and that means that neither are you. Mysteriously, the bottle caps that were in his inventory have disappeared. I don't know what's up with that. Nevertheless, I am going to just drop these 4 stim packs over the side here, and away they will go. Whenever I find something in a companion's inventory that they're not supposed to have, I just try and drop it in some water or something somewhere and let it disappear. So, no, the railroad isn't really too bad, Preston, but they refuse to let me join unless I am going to loot as part of the quest for tradecraft, so we're locked out from them. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get our kidnapping at Nordhagen Beach activated. This is really one of the last quests that we have that's in our log that is not getting Nick Valentine out of the vault. So, what is going on here?
They said they'd be back for the ransom in a few days. If I don't pay up, they'll kill her. But I don't have that kind of money.
Well, I've got all kinds of money, but I don't think that rewarding this behavior is going to get it to stop. If we pay them now, they're just going to want more later. So I think we can teach them a lesson.
They'll never forget.
We asked the Minutemen for help, but I didn't really think anyone would come. Just bring her back safe, okay?
Well, we'll try. I just found out that we're going to Easy City Downs, which is nice and close by, but holy crap, there's a lot of raiders at Easy City Downs. Like, it might be hard to rescue anyone from there. Actually, I don't know why I'm going in to take that stuff back from Preston. He can hold that corn for now. I am going to go ahead and put on my actual armor in anticipation of going over to Easy City Downs. So, got everything. Yes, this looks right. Does Mary look right? Yes. Okay, we've got our armor on, and we don't really have that far to go. 10 Pines Bluff is under attack. Well, that's a tragedy, but it's just going to have to be a problem. I am not going to go all the way up to 10 Pines Bluff, especially not right now. So, we have a quest marker. I don't know if that is directly on my person that I am supposed to rescue, but since we can see this waster through the trees, let's go ahead and see if we can kill them with a sniper shot. And there is turret. So I think that this is probably just going to be a very slow, kind of tedious sniper battle like most things are for me with this character. So I am going to just go ahead and add some music and speed up time. Well, I spent a lot of that time, a lot more of that time, actually, making sure everybody was dead versus actual combat. Either the raiders are locked to a low level here, or Mary is just becoming an unstoppable killing machine. Maybe a little of both. Somewhere around here should be Eager Ernie. And although I did hear some, screw this, I'm out of here type talk, maybe he has fled the scene. I don't know. Regardless, too bad we can't pick up that magazine, but here we are. Wait, did Eager Ernie already die? Well, I don't remember killing him. Preston, did you kill Eager Ernie? Anyway, I can't pick any of that up, so I don't know why I'm looking at it. But we have a settler here that we can free.
Please, you've got to help me.
Don't worry. I'm here to rescue you.
Oh my god, thank you. Let's go.
Alright, well, you're free, and I am going to go ahead and make my way back to the beach. Because this place is now, as far as I can tell, cleared out. Does the pit boy say that it's cleared? Yes, it does. That doesn't always mean every single last enemy is gone, but I certainly wasn't able to find anybody else except for a few robots that were left. I do think it's weird that somehow Mary can just look at a robot and know whether it's hostile or not. Then again, same with humans, right? That she can just look at them from 100 yards away through a sniper scope, and if their name is in red, it is certain that it's okay to kill them. I suppose game mechanics and fun have to take a backseat to realism, but I do think it might be nice if we didn't always know about whether a character was hostile or not until we actually investigated that character.
Hey there.
I don't know how to thank you for that rescue you pulled off.
How about money? Money is a way to thank me.
Just remember that this is all thanks to the Minutemen.
We know. That's why we've decided to join the Minutemen. You can count on our help if you need it.
Oh, what thanks? Another settlement to at least not. If we're not going to have it look good, I want to at least, have it be functional. So, another place to build up. I am not terribly excited, gotta be honest. Since we're not really getting to do any fun building around here,
What next?
it's just kind of tedious.
Use all the support we can get. So see what you can do to help.
Wait, mark it on my map. No, we just turned in a quest. You did not just give me another quest, did you? Ay. Okay, well, gee, thanks, Preston. Because we needed another settlement quest. I think that I am going to, off camera, go ahead and get Nortaken Beach here functional, and I think I will probably handle that ghoul problem at County Crossing off camera. Preston, I wonder, are you... Oh, I'm sick. Fantastic. There's a water pump around here somewhere. Preston, are you in a mood to maybe, give me your companion perk? I wouldn't have to travel with you anymore and get any more of these settlement quests because they're getting a tad repetitive. What do we got for food? Preston has a whole bunch of corn.
What's up?
So Preston, first, let's trade. And get this corn back, or at least some of this corn. And would you be willing to give me your perk?
Heads up.
What do you need?
Hey there.
You should give yourself credit sometimes. You really are one of the big guys.
I really am. I mean, Mary has gone from battered housewife to a gosh darn hero.
Thanks, Preston. I already know you think so.
I know, but I don't know if you really get it. How unusual you are. Since we met, I think you know I've really come to respect you, both as a leader and as a friend. Most people are just out for themselves, one way or another. Even the good ones. But you're different. You really care about other people. Even when it isn't convenient or even safe. I've seen you risk your life more than once to help people just because it was the right thing to do. I just wanted you to know that, well, that it matters. That you're making a difference.
Oh man, I am. Not only am I sick, but I have an infection.
just
That's
described
super bad.
yourself.
We're gonna have to take
I
antibiotics.
hope you realize that.
Quite the mutual admiration society we've got going here, huh? No, but I hear you. And thanks. Let's just agree to both keep that in mind going forward, huh? All right, enough chit-chat, huh?
Alright, well, we unlocked another rank, but we have not managed to actually get his perk unlocked. So, yeah, I did a pretty cool build here at Nordhagen Beach. I'll plug that real quick. That one was pretty neat because it was, the concept was it was an abandoned boardwalk that settlers found and moved into and repurposed, so there were people living in like an old bumper car attraction. There were street lights that turned on and off at the appropriate times of day, and stores that had doors that automatically closed and opened when the store owner was there. And I think the coolest thing was that there was a shooting mini game that I built that if you shot enough targets in a short enough time, you would get a prize. So, you know, kind of a carnival game that had been rehabbed and repurposed by the settlers. So, yeah, I think that one was a cool one. I did several videos on the tour for Nordhagen Beach. I will try to leave a link to at least one of those, or if I made a playlist of that, I will leave a link for that in the end card. Meantime, I've got work to do. It's going to be boring. I'll come back in a bit. I had a couple of problems while recording this episode, and in this section I was able to capture the footage, but unfortunately, for some reason, the narration did not get recorded, so I am doing this narration after the fact, and I hope you'll bear with me while I try and muddle through, but I didn't want to give up this section of the footage. We are showing off our supply lines. We got our new supply lines from County Crossing down to the castle and up to Nordhagen Beach. I had a discussion of perks that I am going to actually skip over and do again in another episode. In the meantime, let's take a look around at the castle. I've got this place built up quite a bit. I've got the defense all the way up to, I think that's 180. And the reason for the ridiculous defense is that it is most likely we're going to end up with a Minuteman ending, which means we're going to need to defend the castle. And so there's no reason to not just go ahead and get it built up while we can. You'll notice that over here I have planted only mute fruit or mut fruit. The debate rages on. I prefer mute fruit, but I digress. The reason for this is that your workbench will store excess food. But certain settlers like certain types of food better, and so what ends up happening is if you plant a variety of crops, you can end up with just a very few of each type in your workbench. Meanwhile, if you plant only corn in some settlements, only mute fruit in others, and only potatoes in others, you can see here how I've got tons of those resources available to me in order to make adhesive. Now, I don't really need adhesive anymore, but it is something else that I can sell. It's an easy way to get experience points. So as a late game strategy, this is actually working out pretty good. I can plant the ingredients for adhesives in settlements that I don't visit very often, and thus I'm not harvesting there, because corn, mute fruit, and potatoes aren't necessarily the most expensive or best weight to value when it comes to vegetables. But if I'm not visiting that settlement anyway, who cares, right? I kind of wish that I had started doing this a little bit sooner, and that's okay though. Ultimately, Mary has all the caps that she needs. Now, I cannot recall what the discussion was for this part of the video, but eventually I do find Ronnie Shaw and we're going to get started on old guns. Now, that's a conversation everyone's seen before, so I am going to skip ahead to getting into the castle basement. You joined me a fair way into the basement. This is a little bit of a maze, and it took me a while to kind of remember my way around down here, and it also took me a few tries to get through here because Ronnie or Preston, I was never really sure which, seems to be very insistent on stepping on landmines and blowing me up. So, of course, what's supposed to be the big bad down here is Sarge, but it really turns out to be your own companions that are the most deadly. See? Right there. Ronnie Shaw stepping on a landmine and crippling my leg and taking a big whack of health. Not cool, Ronnie, and I don't know why you're so insistent on continuing to do that, but after that, when I started trying to use VATS to spot the mines and make sure that they get disabled before Ronnie can go jump up and down on top of them. And we're also coming up on Sarge, who is supposed to be big and scary, and he is if you doing this at a lower level, and especially if you do not have the Penetrator perk. However, if you do have the Penetrator perk, really taking out the sentry bots is kind of trivial. If you can manage to get a shot on their fusion cores, because of Penetrator, you can shoot right through the sentry bot. If you can do that from sneak, you can see right there that I took Sarge out in 2 shots, and he never once even was able to get a shot off on me. Now, the rest of the basement down here is just doing a little bit of exploring, making sure that I'm not leaving any enemies behind me, and oh yeah, I had to run all the way back to the start to go and collect Preston because I had asked him to wait here instead of having him continually blowing himself up. Once we get out of the basement, I will kind of show you what happens next. And what happens next, of course, is that we come out of the basement into the bastion here, and what do you know, there's a whole bunch of great supplies in here, which we can't pick up, as well as a quest item. We are supposed to pick up the plans for the artillery pieces, and we can't. And I fiddle around here for a while and talk with Ronnie a little bit and try to get Preston to pick up those plans. And I am not able to get him to do it. And so, since this is not, at least not yet, technically a part of the main quest, I am electing not to pick those plans up myself. I don't have a workaround as far as getting Preston to do it, and I am kind of curious what happens when the main quest advances to a point where it assumes that we're siding with the Minutemen, and yet we don't have old guns completed. I don't know if that will stop the game or if it will just skip over and allow us to continue without the artillery pieces. Things are going to start getting very interesting later in the game when it comes to just the number of quests that are, I shouldn't say broken, I was going to say broken, but quests that I have elected not to complete because of my rule set. And I know that some of my viewers may feel frustrated as far as like, Nacho, just take the item and finish the quest, but I am really interested to see what happens if we go outside of what the game developers expect us to do and simply refuse to pick up that item. So our next objective is probably one that you're not expecting. So let's skip ahead to that, and we'll do some explanation. Well, here we are at the entrance of Vault 88. I have said that I do not plan to do all the DLC in this run, but as it stands right now, DLC is the only thing available to me when it comes to quests. At least quests that I have run into so far, because, for example, Old Guns requires me to loot something. Hole in the Wall requires a terminal get hacked or pick up a password. And I'll be able to do that once I get Nick Valentine unlocked and be able to hack that terminal. But I don't have Nick Valentine unlocked just yet, and I am putting that off as long as possible. Now I know that there are some quests like Kid in a Fridge, or I think there's a quest at University Point that you can do, but I am kind of just enjoying running into these things naturally. So I'm not going to go search out every possible quest in the entire game, but I am going to at least try the ones that, as I said, have appeared on my quest log. And I had intended to record this start of the Vault 88 Vault-Tec calling DLC, but as it turns out, I somehow managed to forget to hit record. So I've already got all the ghouls cleared out and turned off a security lockdown. The problem is that to get any farther and to get any deeper in here, I would have to pick up this Vault-Tec control board off that security chief. Now, Preston was able to pick up everything else off the security chief. That kickball was for some reason on him, as well as that combat armor right leg and some ammo, but he has refused to pick up the Vault-Tec control board. We'll try one last time, just to be 100% sure. I mean, he says okay, but then he doesn't actually pick it up. So we're locked out of this DLC. Let's go give Automatron a try. I would really like to get the workbench, the robot workbench, unlocked, because then we could turn Codsworth into an absolute murder machine. But I am not any more optimistic about being able to complete Automatron than I am about this Vault-Tec DLC. So I will see you again when we get closer to the caravan that starts off Automatron. So for some reason I don't have a quest marker for the start of Automatron. It says to listen to the caravan distress frequency, and I have done that, and yet the quest has not advanced, and there is nothing leading me to this location. However, I think that I have found the starting point for Automatron. So these servomechs, I think, do not appear anywhere else in the Commonwealth except for at the start of Automatron. Of course, by doing this, I think I potentially risk having a lot more of these servomechs and robots and rust devils running around the Commonwealth, and I'm actually kind of okay with that. I have enough safe routes through places that, I don't know, the game is kind of a lot of the time just a walking simulator, and so having something to do along the way, I mean, careful what you wish for, right? Maybe this is a mistake, but I frankly am kind of looking forward to having more to do around the Commonwealth, and maybe not feeling quite so secure every time I go from, like Jamaica Plain all the way up to Sanctuary without seeing hardly a single enemy. So, hello Ada, you have a quest marker now, which means that maybe we are going to be able to advance this quest. And there are speech checks, so let's just go ahead and put on our speech gear, just because I don't think that we can fail too badly, and yet I won't turn down the extra experience points for the speech checks.
Thank you for assisting.
Yes.
My end here as well.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Damage is minor, but I am registering sadness and anger at the loss of my friends. It may sound strange coming from a robot, but they were my...
It kind of does. Mary is very much on the fence about artificial intelligence and the personhood of robots. But we're at least going to be polite and say that we are sorry for Ada's loss.
This is the third time we've been attacked by robots like these. Even with the weapon and detection upgrades Jackson gave me, I was unable to defend them.
Who's
Who
Jackson?
is
Jackson was the
Jackson?
leader of this caravan. He had a great mind for technology. In many ways, he is my creator. He installed all my current upgrades. Unfortunately, they were not enough to protect them from the robots.
Tell me about your
Yes,
upgrades.
modified using a robot workbench based on prototype schematics. The workbench allows for a wide range of robot modifications. Perhaps if I had more sentry bot-based defenses, I could have successfully defended my friends against those robots.
So these guys were
They must
after
be
you
targeting you
for
for
some
some
reason.
Probability is high that I am part of that reason. Besides myself, Jackson also created Turing, Hertz, and Porter. Our built-in modifications would be desired pieces of salvage. We knew we ran the risk of encountering more of these hostile robots if we stayed in the Commonwealth. If only we had made the decision to leave.
And go where? Still, why did you stay
So
then?
why did you end up staying?
Our caravan specialized in mechanical repairs and trade. The Commonwealth has an abundance of salvage that would benefit our business. It was a calculated risk.
Wouldn't know anything about that. Mary doesn't pick up salvage. So,
You
you couldn't have known.
Something like this would happen.
The probability of attack was high. I should have forced our departure. In recompense, I will seek justice for my friends and stop these robots from causing further harm. It's time to uncover the source and confront their leader, the Mechanist.
The Mechanist, that is from
Who's
comic
the
books.
Mechanist?
The only information I have comes from the iBot broadcasts. The false claims of peace and justice. The only certainty is that these robots bring only death. You have shown willingness to aid others. I ask that you please assist me in stopping this Mechanist. In return, I can give you the schematics to build your own robot workbench, so you have additional resources in this
I
undertaking.
was thinking that the robot workbench wasn't until towards the end, but I just remembered, yeah, you had to modify some robots early on. I really want that robot workbench.
What's a robot workbench?
The robot workbench will allow you to create and modify your own robots, given enough resources.
So, do you want revenge?
I admit my goal is twofold. Stopping the Mechanist both protects the Commonwealth and allows me to avenge my fallen friends. I won't rest until I see this threat dissolved. I owe it to them. Now, we last saw a group of the Mechanist robots at the General Atomics factory. You may find information there that will lead us to the Mechanist. I will follow and assist with your permission.
Alright, well,
Yeah.
let's go.
Let's go, Ada.
General Atomics has valuable salvage. Chances are high the robots are still there.
Oh, we have to let Preston go. That is actually okay. During the last segment where I didn't hit record in time, it turns out that he had the conversation to give us his perk. So we are going to send him to Starlight with the rest of our companions. And I just want to check your inventory before you run away, Preston.
I want to trade a few.
Got anything
Whatever you need,
good?
General.
Is there anything that we need to get off of you as far as vegetables or anything? You got a couple stim packs. You keep getting those from somewhere. Not okay,
Know
Preston.
if there's anything else you need.
No, nothing.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and just drop those stim packs. I'm kind of wondering if I have already learned the robot workbench. At least, I sure hope I have. It sounds like maybe we have.
Yes.
Hey, Ada.
So,
How can I help?
got anything to say? Why would the first thing we ask about be
Are you
self-destruct?
able
I'm
to
curious
self-destruct?
now.
No, I can't. I'm fairly certain that my original creator had grander plans for me other than becoming a pile of debris.
Starlight's under drive-in. Starlight's under drive-in. Starlight Drive-In is under attack. Good thing we just sent Preston there, right? And what else we got here?
I think it's time
Can we disable your
to
personality?
Your personality subroutine.
Sorry, no can do. That switch was disabled when I was built. I'm afraid you're stuck with me this way.
Hey.
Fair enough, Ada. What do we have in your inventory?
Do
Nothing.
you?
That's great. Okay. So I remember there being some pretty good stuff around here, but of course we can't take any of it. I remember especially I think there were some special goggles or something that were maybe unique, but I don't know. I guess I'm not sure why I'm even looking around here because, yeah, there's no reason to be. What is the burnt technical manual, I wonder? It is intriguing, it is tempting, but we are going to leave it be. In the meantime, we have a new companion, and like I said, we already had Preston's perk. I have heard that this is bugged. I'm not sure if maybe the unofficial Fallout 4 patch might have fixed that. Hard to say. I mean, without having numbers flash up on how much damage is that we're doing or damage that we're taking, hard to gauge that. But it is another perk under our belt and another crossed off. Let's go investigate the General Atomics factory. I am curious whether... Oh, that is all the way down by the castle. So we have a ways to go. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to stop by a settlement on my way and see if the robot workbench has in fact been unlocked. If it has, then I think we stop this DLC here. In fact, since all of my companions are up at Starlight, I think I'm going to make my way in that direction. So I'll join you there. This is a happy little surprise. I am working on my robot repair center or robot modification center. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet.
I'll take a look. Sure.
And I came over to the Drumlin Diner to buy some supplies. And what do you know? But Trudy has something that I have been looking for a long time. Blowfly gland. I need one of these to take to the doctor in Diamond City from a side quest that I got probably 20 episodes ago. So, I don't know if maybe I've just missed them since then, but yeah, I've been looking for that forever, and I am so glad to find it. I'm currently trying to buy some supplies for my little project that I'm doing with my robots, and I'll show you that here in a minute when I have it done. It's going to be probably hours yet for me, but moments for you. Hang on. We are back at Starlight Drive-In, and I tell you, I wanted to build one nice, cool, fully decorated thing in this playthrough. In part because I enjoy building, but also because my resources have gotten so bloated that things were getting maybe just a little too easy. So I have built myself a robot laboratory, and I enjoy it. I think it's a nice scrappy thing, and I'm going to do an entire tour of it in a separate video. For the moment, let's go ahead and make some modifications to Ada. Now, we are going to be able to make some basic modifications out of the box, but unfortunately, I had forgotten that really all of the best mods are kind of only available by looting the corpses of... Corpses? Is that the right word? Maybe wreckage of the Rust Devil robots. And so, where is it? Left hand. There was a Textron claw that I wanted. There it is. Sorry. Anyways, the way you make the best modifications is by looting that wreckage, and so that means that we aren't going to be able to make the best robots. Still, we can make some basic upgrades to Ada. Now, I don't know why, just, I guess, because it feels like right, but I always insist that my robots have at least one hand. So I'm going to put a sniper laser on this side. She's got a long-range weapon and a short-range weapon with the Protectron Claw. It just seems like it would be cruel to make these machines that are potentially intelligent and send them off through the wasteland, and the only way that they have to interact with the world is with a gun. So, yeah, every robot has to have at least one hand. It's really not the best way to build, but it's what I do. And although we are not really going to be able to build the best things, I am very excited about this hacking module, because there are a number of quests that I have right now that I can't advance unless I pick up a password or I hack a terminal. And I was going to go back to those with Nick Valentine, but as I've said before, I'm trying to put off the main quest as long as possible, because I know that I'm going to have to essentially break the rules on the main quest. And that means that since Ada has this hacking module, I'll be able to take care of those other quests and get those crossed off of my list. Now, where do we stand for DLC? Well, there's the Vault-Tec DLC, which is pretty much locked to us. There is Far Harbor, which we can't really get into until we have Nick Valentine. And we have Automatron that we have dipped our toe into, but this is really as far as I want to go with Automatron, is getting the robot workbench unlocked. So that leaves Nuka World, and I do not believe that I would be able to complete the gauntlet without picking anything up, either a key or a password or something in there. So I'm not going to actually go into Nuka World, but I am kind of curious how Ada's going to do in combat, and the gunner guards outside the Nuka World transit station seem like a pretty good test. So let's go over there and see how she does. Well, Ada and I are on approach to the Nuka World Transit Center, and there's a problem. I must have some kind of mod conflict, because I get this message that I cannot go that way. I don't know what mod is causing it. If you happen to have an idea, I would love to hear about it in the comments. But ultimately, that is a problem to maybe solve another day. And maybe never solve, because I don't intend to go into Nuka World, and this might be the last time I play Fallout 4 for the foreseeable future, with Starfield coming out. So I guess we will just have to let that go for now. I had a discussion about perks earlier in the episode that I cut because I lost the audio, so we might as well have that now, because I do have a couple of perks. I did so much building on that robot workshop that I have advanced another couple of levels. So where are we at with perks? On the strength tree, the only things that I have even the slightest interest in would be strength itself for some additional carry weight, maybe big leagues or blacksmith for some extra melee damage, but that is really not where Mary's character strengths lie. As for perception and anything on that tree, I've got everything I want, with the possible exception of Demo Expert. I have been buying lunchboxes when I find them in vendor inventories so that I can make bottle cap mines, but I'm just not using explosives all that much. And when I do use them so far, frag mines have been sufficient. On the endurance tree, I would like some additional points of endurance for some extra hit points, but really, as long as Mary doesn't get caught, we don't really need more hit points. As for the other perks on the tree, the only thing that even a little interesting to me would be Aqua Girl, just to be able to move up and down the coast without interference. But right now, it's not pressing. And Charisma, I only took Black Widow to hopefully get some additional dialogue. That has not happened. So, yeah, I feel like that was a wasted perk. Cap Collector, I don't see the immediate need to invest in stores because I'm selling crops, and crops don't cost that much, and I can still clean out my vendors in Hangman's Alley and have plenty of vendors available right around the corner in Diamond City. It's just not a perk that I need right now. Some of the stuff as far as Animal Friend and Intimidation, Wasteland Whisperer could be fun, but again, we're not any kind of necessity. We'll only take those if we get a lot more levels. For intelligence, I have talked about not wanting or feeling like I need to take Hacker. Scrapper is pretty useless when you don't pick up any guns or armor. And the other things that are on here, Robotics Expert might be nice, but we're getting along without having the best possible robots we got this far. So I'm not going to prioritize it. Agility, some extra agility points would be nice for my extra action points, but I've got everything I want here with the exception of maybe Gun Fu a little, but I think that really the things that we are going to benefit from the most for now are in luck. And I, way back in episode 1, took luck 3 so that I could get Bloody Mess. And I've already taken a couple of ranks in that, did that in that earlier discussion that got cut. So we've got Bloody Mess maxed out, and that means that there's nothing to do but get additional points of luck. Getting more criticals fast will be nice, and getting access to better criticals, Critical Banker, and Grim Reaper Sprint. All pretty good perks, and frankly that is likely to take us through the rest of this run. So that's where we stand with perks. Hopefully we won't have to have another long boring discussion about perks again, and I think that's enough for today. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. We're going to get more episodes every Sunday. If you didn't like, please tell me why in a comment so that I can try and do better for you next time. A dislike without context means that I don't know what it is that I should be doing better to make better content for you. And otherwise, I'm going to say my name is Nacho Bidness. I'm wondering what this is, and I'm realizing that the right thing to do is just avoid it. We're ending the episode right now. So, my name is Nacho Bidness. I'm saying it's a great big wasteland out there. Let's go have fun in it. Thank you so much for watching.